yo, 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 yo.
In action. Hey guys, there's something bothering me on my mind though, and I think I should talk about it.
What's that?
I heard about people talking about I'm from the street and their perspective on the street. When you tell someone I'm from the streets and they're like, you're not from the streets, you don't look like from the streets. Does the street has a way of dressing? Or does the street have an appearance
that
identifies you from the street? Or what do most people understand by the word street?
Well, if you're gonna say you're a street boy or you're from the street or you are the street, the first impression you're gonna give people is that you're a thug, you smoke, you drink,
Humanize.
you're a Yahoo boy. You're
You're
just a bad
ritualist,
person.
just a bad person.
Yeah.
So they believe, and that's the impression I'm so angry about. They believe the street is bad, that the street is evil.
Yeah.
But most of them forget to realize that we are all in the streets.
Yeah.
What is the street? A particular set of people with the same mindset, they don't live together. There's no street.
Yeah, that's right.
So in other words, what we're trying to put out here is that our street is like our little communities, our little villages that separate us from different individuals. And you see, the street alone has a lot to offer. So each street has a culture, and each community you have different people and different culture and different mindsets.
Yeah.
Now it's just like taking a fish out of the ocean, and you want to put the fish in your house. You have to find an aquarium for that fish to live
In your community.
Okay,
It will live in your community because your house is also the community. Your house is also the street. So I can come out and I tell you I'm from the street. The street does not mean because I don't have a dread on, or I don't have a piercing on my ear, or I don't have a tattoo on my hand, or I don't sag, or I don't smoke does not mean I'm not from the street.
Yeah.
We are all from the street because I can remember briefly in the beginning of this world, our Lord Jesus Christ preached the gospel in the streets. So I can boldly say he was also a street boy. He was also a street boy doing his work. The street is made up of different religion, different characters, and different traditions. The street is made up of tradition. Now, for instance, can you classify a street boy from Oshodi to Ajegule?
You can kind of differentiate.
You can differentiate. Why? How can you differentiate?
You know, Precious has this kind of way of saying, there's this way, if he's gonna say make una, he won't use the normal make una, he will just say mark. That's how his own.
So basically, he has intonation.
Yeah, he has
Intonation. That means
it's not just him. I noticed that every other person I've met that comes from Ajegunle has that same intonation.
to let you know that there's a
culture.
culture,
There's a culture.
there's a language.
Yeah.
Each street has a language. Each street has a culture. Each street has a way of dressing. And in that same street, we have the mosques.
Yeah.
We have the Christians. We have the church.
Yeah.
The street is made up of so many activities. The idol worshippers are also in the streets.
Yeah, sure.
The Fuji are also in the streets. The masquerades, the Egunus are also in the streets. So
People sell
in the streets. Come on, see if you beat. Go to Oshodi, go to Ajegule. In Ajegule, you wake up at 2 a.m. you still find hot food to eat. Why? That is a culture. 2 a.m. in the night, there's a market.
Basically, we have a night market.
A night market, yeah, because of the environment.
The environment is safe for them to come out at night because people keep moving around.
But you can't go to Festac or on the island to say, hey, I'm hungry and I want a hot rice, hot jollof rice, or hot rice and stew. You can't get it.
Look.
In fact,
you might be able to get it, but it won't be as easy. As like you will get it in the street.
And it will be cheaper in the street. Because you're not going to a mall, you're not going to any shopping mall, or you're not going to ShopRite to get it.
Yeah. That reminds me. Do you know there was a day I went to a rural area I was not familiar with, and I was hungry, and I remember that where I was coming from, to get a jollof rice, you should hold money up to like a 500 naira to get a jollof rice. But I was there seated with everything I've ordered. I ordered for rice, I ordered for plantain, I ordered for spaghetti, and I ordered for 2 meats and egg. It ran all round up, and when the salesman was about to pay, I only just paid 300 naira. But on another street, I'll go there and I can spend nothing less than 500 or 1,000 naira on that same particular food.
So the street alone is big. The
It's
street
big.
is not
The
something
street
we
is
can.
for us.
It's for
It's
us.
for us.
We are all streets.
We made without us. There's no streets.
So
So all those girls or all those boys you see and your mindset feel that I'm not from the street to come on, they live, in fact they're just your neighbors.
Correct.
They're just your neighbor. The same boy you look outside the street and say he's smoking is this. After finish smoking outside, where does he go back to? To his house, and it's just beside you. That means you're also from the street. Do you do the same thing?
No, but the difference between we and let's put the word the touts, the rough people.
Yeah.
You see, the difference between we and them is the natures of their job. Now I wake up in the morning and I dress up and I'm off to the office. The agbero you see in the street or the tout you see in the street, his job is to go stand at the bus stop and collect money from tickets.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to be nice.
It doesn't have to be
That's nice because
we have drivers, man.
because the drivers you see, we as human, we are Nigeria, we are so crazy, we are impatient. If people stop us to ask us questions, we show how would we are too aggressive. We are too aggressive to approaching people.
We lack order.
We love exactly.
So basically, you see such people that do such job need to act in a certain way to suit their job.
Yeah, because
now you don't expect a banker to be acting like someone that is collecting money in the bus, who is a bus conductor. It is two different things, but that's from the same street, probably live in the same community.
Same compound.
But because they do two different, their natures of job are different, so the job separates them as individuals.
but they are also
From the
street.
same street. So they don't get it twisted when you see a young boy, fine young boy or fine young girl tell you that I'm from the streets, I'm a street boy or I'm a street girl. Don't get it twisted. We are all from the street because we pass the street every day. The difference between we and the tout is because of the nature of what they do.
And maybe civilization, education.
Yes, that's what's happening.
Yes, but to show more light on that, do you know most of these agberos are graduates? Do you know most of these agberos have qualifications?
Wait, do you know most of those agberos are graduates, and most of the graduates are the agberos you see
on the streets?
Yeah.
And they tell you they are from the street and you're angry this I have more education. Everybody is just looking for a means to surviving. The street in the world is survive.
Correct.
You must
The
survive.
street means survive.
Correct.
That's the meaning of street. So when I tell you I'm a street boy, that means I'm telling you I'm a survivor.
Yes.
In this country, everybody is from the streets.
So everybody's surviving, everybody's living. So when you see a young boy or a young girl telling you I'm from the street, it's telling you that I am surviving.
See, growing up, my grandmom used to say, it takes the community to raise a child. That means after the community raised that child, the child brings out what the community has shown. That means in the child's character, it shows. In the child dressing, it shows.
Yeah.
Attitude
It shows. That means it does not take a family to raise a child. It takes a whole full community. That means it takes the whole street
to train one child.
So when if the child is good, now the street. If the child is bad, now the street.
Because in that same street we have a lot of things that the child gets to see. You see, we all understand that where we live plays a vital role in our lives.
Exactly.
You get, so individually we all know that we come from different families.
It might be a shame that I don't know how to speak Yoruba, even if I was born and
In
brought up in
Lagos.
Lagos.
We are all the funny thing, yeah.
I would say my parents locked me up in a house with neighbors that are not Yoruba, they don't speak Yoruba. When I go to school, I don't even have Yoruba friends, so I don't get how I'm supposed to
So
learn
learn
Yoruba.
language.
Yeah, but then there are other people who
Yeah.
live around like with people who speak Yoruba, so it's easy for them to get to learn it. But you wouldn't blame someone like me who was not mixing myself, or I was not mixed because it was not in my hands.
Nobody has to blame you for that at that time. But now you're old enough to if nobody's caging you, nobody's telling you don't go out because of the fact of the roughness of the area.
Yeah.
Nobody says there are no rough places. But at the end of the day, man, each street has a role to play in the life of a child. Thank you very much.
So I still remain your own boy, Oriri David Ogenerobo, aka Double T, aka Son of God, and aka God First Son. Remain blessed.
Marvelous Vincent Cizay, that's me.
And I still remain your own boy, so one, aka God First Son. Being blessed, and catch you guys next week. Stay tuned. Guys.
Swear. I hope the MGs are in the house right now.
Can you hear that? Alright.
Yo, yo. 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 Swear. Yo, CZ. Yo, CZ. Yo, CZ. Yo, CZ.